I built a playable version of 3D Pong using nothing but natural language and AI, and I'm going to show you how you can do it as well. Now you can pause the video and look at what the initial prompt was here, but importantly, I'm using a custom GPT in the ChatGPT store called No Code Copilot. And without this GPT, the prompt that you're seeing here wouldn't work. All the things that you're seeing in this video wouldn't be possible because this is the custom GPT that connects your front-end LLM, your ChatGPT client, to all sorts of back-end services that make the things you're seeing in this video possible. Now, the first build of the game that this GPT spit out for us, it wasn't quite right. The paddle wasn't translucent, so it made it really difficult to track the ball behind the paddle as you moved in to get a strike on the paddle as the ball came toward the camera in three-dimensional space. So after a couple rounds of natural language feedback and an iteration with the chat conversation here, you'll notice that we came out with this build where the paddle was a little bit more hollowed out. Now, the next problem that I wanted to solve is I wanted to give the player some more visual feedback as to the depth that the ball was at along the z-axis away and toward the camera as the game was progressing. So I had envisioned sort of this panel, this ring panel of LEDs that would track affixed to the z coordinates of the ball as it moved down the corridor. And you'll see the AI did a pretty decent job at implementing that. It wasn't quite aligned with like the center of the room itself, so I just gave another screenshot and some additional feedback, and now we see that this is actually looking a lot better. Still, I didn't feel like we needed such granularity as a gradient along the illumination zone, so I just gave an additional round of feedback, and we got that nice crisp, hard edge that I was looking for. Now, before moving on to next steps, I want to take a screenshot of this playing field just so the LLM has some visual context into where we currently stand relative to the current code base that it has written. And then I'm just going to use natural language to describe some additional geometric detail that I want to add to the player paddle as well as an enemy paddle to make it clear that this isn't just a hollow square, that these are in fact three-dimensional paddles. Now, in expanding these external action UI elements here, you start to get an idea of how things are working under the hood and just how much more infrastructure is behind the scenes and under the hood of No Code Copilot than meets the eye. Instead of re-outputting the entire code base every single time, which is a tremendously wasteful activity when you think about code generation in LLM systems, it's only outputting the exact number of tokens for the precise section of the code that it's looking to make an update to for this particular change iteration that is necessary. And that results in an extremely efficient and an extremely accurate code generation and collaborative human and machine built experience. And you'll see here through this iterative back and forth process of just natural language and screenshots, giving the Vision LLM some additional context to look at, we're able to hone in the exact sort of shape and vision that I have for the player paddle. Where there's a slight alignment issue here where sometimes the ball can get behind the player paddle itself closer to the camera. So I'm able to go ahead and iterate on that bug fix real quick in real time. I actually sneak in a considerable amount of changes in this particular iteration, so I'm going to freeze it here if you want to pause the video and take a look. Basically, the ball getting behind the player paddle is a little bit more complicated than just it sort of being a bug. We actually need to make a scoring condition for the enemy player, which means we needed to add an opponent player paddle and so forth. So as you can see, No Code Copilot had no trouble at all implementing all of those changes in a single round. I'd go on to continue that conversation just to use my natural language to improve the overall polish and look and feel of the UI and UX of the game, to add a interactive scoreboard mechanic to the back wall. That worked. And in theory, there's no real upper limit to what you could build and how much you could add and expand using this innovative new human and code collaboration method that No Code Copilot pioneers. So if you want to give it a shot, try it out. It's in the GPT store for free today, and be sure to share your creations online on social media. Tag me in it.